Welcome back, everyone, to GPT-5 edition of Merge Conflict. It's the fifth, 476 that we missed the 75 to mark the 5, but we're on 676, 476, GPT-476 over here. Merge Conflict, your weekly developer and AI podcast. We didn't update our actual subtitle of the pod because we're still developer first podcast. We talk a whole lot about AI and a whole lot of goodies for developers, whether you're coding apps, whether you're using tools, whether you're not using tools, whether you have a cat, whether you have a dog, or any other animal. We're the podcast for you. I'm one of your hosts, James Altamano. With me, as always, is
Frank Kruger. Hello, James. And because your query was so simple, I'm sorry. I'm just going to reduce you down to GPT-3 for this response. So, good day. Have fun. Happy. Be here. Good stuff. Ask a better query and maybe I'll bump you up to GPT-5.
Well, I will tell you this much, that I, over the weekend, upgraded Feedback Flow to be powered by GPT-5. And I even put a badge. I put a badge that says powered by GPT-5.
So Intel Inside, GPT-5. You got all your badges on there. Oh, I love it. Now, are you thinking mode? Are you paying for the thinking?
No, I'm on GPT-5 Nano.
Classic. Like you're the one who taught me about GPT. What there's like an O3 mini or something that's like stupidly cheap on Azure and OpenAI. Like you can do infinity requests for roughly 0.01 cents. And I have been a sucker for doing everything through that. What were you on before? GTP5 Nano.
I was on 4.1 Nano. So okay. And I'd used a mini. There's minis and nanos, and it really depends on what you need. Like minis can do, they're mini, they're not nano, right? But the minis are the fastest and the lightest, and they don't do obviously no routing or anything. But I decided to do it because Feedback Flow is just kind of doing simple stuff. It's really just taking a whole bunch of text and just like doing analysis based on
summary,
what you tell it to do.
Sentiment analysis, correlation.
That's all you need. Yeah. So what's really nice is I was in AI Foundry on Azure, and what you do is you just go in and you pick the model, you deploy the model to your instance, and all I had to do in my app was I have an environment variable. It's called model name. And before it said GPT 4.1 Nano, and now it says GPT 5 Nano, and that's all I had to do. And now I've upgraded my application because there's no like, I didn't do like a custom model, obviously. So it's just like, it's just the foundational model, the base model that's there. But then I was like, I got to put a badge. Everyone else is putting cool powered by GPT-5 badges and things like that. So I'm like, I'm in. I don't know if it made any difference, although
you beat me to it. That was my big question. Like, how do we notice? Like, none of us write unit tests, I'm noticing. We all should be, but we should all have, like, for your kind of app, you should have a stock 30 blog posts or something with comments. And you can run it on it, and you can do A/B comparisons, old model versus new model, mini versus nano, all that.
Nope.
I don't do that. You don't do that. Does anyone do that?
No. I mean, what I could do is I could put a toggle in the UI that's like, pick a model. You pick a model. I'll tell you, and then...
You're putting the onus on the user, though. As developers, I believe, we should be doing the research and the investigation.
So I ran a pretty big thread, like a Hacker News article that had like 300 comments on 4.1 Nano. And I then did one on 5 Nano. And my personal opinion thus far is that it did a better job of like coming up with more unique use cases for the markdown and the analysis. I say, put everything in markdown and stuff.
Sure.
So it did a lot better job of like bulleted lists, of checklists, of like different headers and things like that. Like tables, things like that. So it seemed like it was formatting and coming up with the data, like presenting the data in a different way. I think like it was doing that, which again seems good, I guess. But in general, it seems pretty similar. So I thought that was good. It's cheaper, I think. I don't know. So why not?
Okay. Well, that's something. It's so tricky. Like the intelligence of the model, the capacity of the model versus the system prompt too. Like I've noticed, and this is purely anecdotal, please don't read into this, but like just in chat sessions with GPT-5, it keeps doing like SEO clickbait stuff at the end of its response. I'll ask it something. It'll be blah, blah, blah. Here's the answer. Oh, but also there's this other thing you didn't think of, and it'll blow your mind. Do you want to talk about that? And like every response it was giving me, it was ending with one of these cliffhangers. And I'm like, dude, cut it out with the cliffhangers. Obvious, if it's good info, just tell it to me. But stop it with this clickbait stuff. And I don't know, I don't know if that's the training of GPT-5 or is it the system prompt that they've changed? Because obviously they're going to modify these system prompts every time.
I bet it's a system prompt. I've noticed with, so I've been using GPT-5 pretty exclusive inside of Visual Studio Code with Copilot since it came out. We did a live stream a bit ago. We got some podcasts coming out, and the first few days with any new model are always a little shaky. They're rolling out stuff. Today I was part of the dotnet 10 preview 7 rollout, just every second Tuesday of every month. And there's so many moving parts, and I can't even imagine the moving parts of like a big model rollout and all this other stuff. So obviously I have some inside knowledge of those things, but there's a few things happening. There's just server rollout, regional based rollout. This is of anything you ever deploy. And then there's just capacity, right? All of a sudden, some new hot thing comes out. And what's the first thing that everybody wants to do? Try to use the model, right? Which means all these other models, they're just lingering and no one's using them. So, you just get some power play there. So I would say at this point, it feels as though GPT-5 capacity, latency is back to normal. I've been using it, pretty exclusive. It seems to do a lot more. Again, I assume this is the system prompt. I think Pierce talked about it on the live stream, how they worked with OpenAI on the Copilot system prompt on top of system prompting, but that GPT-5 really likes to come up with like lists of things to do, like a task list. It's like, okay, you have to do something. Like, okay, I'm going to go gather some. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do this other thing. So actually in VS Code, there's now a to-do list or task list that once you give a prompt, it'll create a task list and it'll like update it along the way. So it's like, okay, I'm going to update this. I'm going to update this. I'm going to update this to keep it on track. This is stuff that models kind of did anyways sometimes, like planning mode, or you might do it.
Thinking.
Thinking. It spends more time thinking and routing and doing stuff. Based on how big
it would just play a movie or some memes during that. Like, it's cute with its checklists and I the emojis it puts in every freaking heading and a markdown is cute and all, but show me some memes or something, like entertain me, because I feel like all we're doing now, we're looking at a progress bar. Like, that's all this is to me. All of its thinking, that's a progress bar to me. And I am not entertained by it, to be blunt. So just start putting some cat memes up. Like, let's get over this.
That's true. I go back and forth often is how fast do I want my turn of like what I want things to happen at? Like, because I've been using a lot of the coding agent, like on github.com, to do a lot of tasks. Because I'm like, I don't want to wait around. I just like doing something now. Like I'm firing off 100%. A meeting and I want to, But even that, so that one, the system prompt for the coding agent, I don't know what it is, but it's very verbose because it takes quite a long time, but it does a really good job. It's like very thorough. It's the most thorough prompt. It does like all of its research. It's like, hey, you said you got time because it's running in the background. So I'm gonna take my time. Where with Copilot and the code editors, it's like, how fast can you respond? What's that balance, right? You want to be fast, but you want to be thorough, but you don't want to take too much time being thorough, right?
Can I interrupt you for a minute?
Sure.
Because we were talking about pricing. Sorry, this is old news to everyone except for me. I learned there is this like batch mode in all these APIs where you say run in the background, as in, don't give me the answer now, give me the answer eventually. And you pay a significantly reduced rate on all your queries and everything. And I'm sure everyone knows this except me, but you just say background equals true or whatever in the API thing. It'll queue you up, tell your position in the queue. And I assume that this is roughly what they're doing with the agent, where they can, since it's doing so much work, they can, I hope they're optimizing for the cheaper stuff and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to put that out there. If you're doing something where you're not immediately responding to the user, or if you're just running it overnight, it can happen tomorrow, all that kind of stuff. Please, everyone, look into the batch mode, because then you can get the most advanced models at a significantly reduced price tier.
Oh, yeah. I'd say so far, like I mean, I'm not a Chat GPT user. I'm a Copilot user, Microsoft
Mm-hmm.
Copilot, and a GitHub Copilot. Those are two different things. One's consumer, one's for developers, right? Two different orgs, completely separated
Oh.
off. They don't like Mustafa's over here, DevDiv's over here. Um, which I've been using GPT-5 there, which is kind of cool. But inside of GitHub Copilot and VS Code, I obviously was a pretty heavy Sonnet user, but also Sonnet does lots of thinking and lots of revs and lots of things, but it's very thorough. I do think that GPT-5 is somewhere in between like my 4.1 game and my 4 game, and I've been enjoying it. I feel like it's gotten a lot of things right in the first take, or if I didn't, it's like I can easily point it to navigate around to where I want. So like I think it's doing a little bit more exploration, doing that a little bit more
Interesting.
thinking and routing, which I appreciate as well. So I've been pretty happy with it, I would say, in general. And the Visual Studio Code team added a new little uh, AI stats mode. So there's a little bar that
Okay.
and the bar goes from 0 to 100, and that's based on how much AI
Oh
versus
boy.
typing that you're
Oh boy.
doing. It's like how much code have you had the AI write for you versus you typing.
Yeah.
So it's a fun
Cute.
game. Can I fill the bar basically? And mine's
You
pretty
want to
full
fill
all
the
the
bar?
time.
I was wondering what the game was. Okay.
Oh, I want to fill that bar to 100% as much as possible. Never be code, never be typing your
Well,
precious keystrokes.
you know,
But yeah.
on that note, I was gonna say, like, okay, I'm super excited to have GPT-5. Because also sadly, my VS Code keeps defaulting to like Sonnet or something like that, and I have to change it. Because you gave me a pro tip: if you switch to GPT 4.1, old news 4.1. Oh my God, so long in the tooth. Um, that's included in Copilot. So you're not
Mm-hmm.
paying for premium requests. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Microsoft. I know you got to make your money, but it's included. You're not paying for each individual request. And I'm cheap, James. I am a cheap person. And I will take subpar quality over quantity with quantity any day.
Yeah.
I want that quantity. And so I am willing to have it make a few mistakes here or there, yell at it, do a little jibbing and jabbing, yelling at, yeah, just begging it to do what I actually want it to do, versus pay for all the premium requests and everything. And so it's funny. I probably would fill up that bar also to 100%, but for different reasons than you. Not because we're having a great, wonderful, successful time, but just because I'm constantly having to go through and fix things I didn't like how it did.
Well, there's a bunch of really cool things that are happening. So Burke, recently, not too long ago, but recently, last month or two, came out with this custom mode for it called Beast Mode. I don't know if we
Oh
talked about on
yeah.
the podcast, but Beast Mode kind of it's made for GPT 4.1. And the whole idea of it is that it is this big system prompt that like he read all the docs and did all this stuff and kind of overrides the default system prompt. And I believe it actually is now merged into an upcoming VS Code release. So you don't even need a
Oh boy.
mode. It's just like it's gonna override the system default. So it's gonna put 4.1 in this beast mode type of mentality, and they're kind of like going this because that's what beast mode did is it actually said, search more modes and do more stuff and come up with a checklist and do these things. And that
Mm-hmm.
was great. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. And yeah, I'm sure we have a lot more exciting things. I don't know when this podcast is going to come out. I don't know when we're announcing different things, but there's always going to be new cool things that we're doing, obviously. But yes, GPT-5 mainline is um, in 1x requests along with your sonnets of the world
Okay.
there. And then you still have 4.0 and 4.1. Now, there is a cool thing that you can do actually. Now, you can go into VS Code and you can say manage models. And before, you could manage models and bring your own key. So if you had a like open router, or you had um, your own Olama, for example, running locally, you could just point at it and it would use that. But now you can actually customize the models that show up for Copilot. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't want 3.5 and 3.7,
Right.
or I don't want, 0.4 mini or whatever to show up,
Yeah.
you can just uncheck those and they'll go away. So it's kind of like nice to have
Good.
like, these are the models that I like. But yeah, I mean, I think it's fascinating. I watched the whole OpenAI, obviously was around for the day of it. I think there's obviously lots of buzz. I feel like, with every model going forward, I feel like we're going to have these mixed responses because people are used to how the old model worked. If it is more of a bigger foundational change. Was there anything that you're using like 4.0 or 4.1 on, Nick, outside of coding, or I guess even in coding? I mean, that you, when things switched to 5, that you noticed a difference at all? Like, I don't know if Apple switched or anything, like if you're using ChatGPT
So
itself.
where I'm using it these days is actually in my apps to add intelligence to my apps. So yeah, I'm using it to code, but honestly, I still like to code. I'm a coder. I don't mind coding. I'm not 100%
I
vibe
code.
coding right now.
I prompt to
I
code.
believe you. I didn't mean to draw that kind of line, but what I'm saying is like I'm actually trying to put them into my apps these days. So I'm doing a lot of like tool calls, the stuff we've talked about in the past episodes, structured outputs and things like that. And I gotta say, like, they've roughly plateaued in my mind. It's a tough world for the AI training people because I feel like we plateaued from my perspective, where it's adding intelligence to my apps. So not necessarily things they're trained on specifically, because like a circuit simulation, they all kind of suck at circuits, to be honest. And 5 is not better at circuits than 4.1. So sadly, I haven't noticed any big change like that. They're still way better than the local ones. So, I, because of my library, I can switch between Apple Intelligence and all these other models very trivially. And so that works fine. But I haven't noticed, like, if I say I'm designing a robot and need a sensor pack to do this, I need a balancing algorithm that drives an ESC through a PWM signal, design a topology that accomplishes that. 4.1 and 5 are roughly the same because I'm in such a edge case. Is it even an edge case? I'm outside the cloud of training. Think of all the data it's received while training as a dense little cloud, and I'm on the edge where life is a little bit thinner and it hasn't had the good backup data. So I live in the world where I really should be like fine-tuning these models, but that's very expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't have the data to do it. So I would say I'm a little disappointed because they keep making the standard cases better. They're not improving the edge cases. The SVG it outputs is, Claude is still better at that than OpenAI, but the SVG it outputs is still as bad as it's always been.
No, I had it recently generate some new fave icons as SVGs,
Okay,
and it did
pretty good.
pretty
GPT-5?
good.
Okay.
GPT-5, yeah, I had it. I had it recently, so.
But that. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'll let you finish. But SVGs is within that dense cloud because that's web tech. So that's popular, right? Like they weren't good at SVGs prior because they weren't necessarily training on them.
Yeah.
But now, ever since Claude, because Claude couldn't do image generation, Claude did SVG generation.
Yeah.
I think OpenAI has started training on SVG. So that's still, in my opinion, like pop culture, pop AI.
Yeah.
It's not on the edge at all. So it's not like robot definitions and sensor packs and things like that. But I can't wait to see what fave icon is about to present itself.
It just says like it's like I
told
it to make it. I told it to make it the fave icon for my LLC refractored. I tweeted a photo out of a before and after. So this website used to just be a default Blazor app, which is like nav on the left and whatever. And I just used the coding agent on github.com, which I'm pretty sure it uses Sonnet for. But I said, hey, like make this app, make this website beautiful and modern with beautiful gradients and a cool color tone. And then it did it. And this is what it generated. Now, I then took it. It was pretty close. It actually had the navigation on the left. Then I came down and I used GPT-5 to do the rest of it, like light and dark theme. There's a toggle on the bottom. And then I needed a fave icon. And I said, make it look like an app icon with a gradient with an R.
Love it.
Yeah. And it did. It actually did. Now, the R is a little bit off center because that is
okay, you said it. I didn't have to say it. I was like, am I going to tell him his R is off center? So I'm glad you said it. Great.
It is something that I've noticed with all models when it makes SVGs is it likes to off-center things.
Because it's hard. Using a Cartesian coordinate system for drawing is stupid. Like what it should be able to say is the center of this text is equal to the center of the entire drawing. Yeah. It should be. SVG is too low level. I wish it had a smarter graphics language that it could be outputting, but we don't have smart graphics languages. We do. It's called Metafont. No one knows it. No software knows it. But they chose not to train on Metafont. So Metapost and Metafont. We missed an opportunity.
I mean, I think there's there's a lot of real advantage down the road is if this thing can get better with tool calling. You talked about earlier, and GPT-5 is much better at tool calling. That's maybe one of the differentials I would say with GPT-5 over 4.1. It's much better at tool calling, and it is much better at coding. So one of the things that the team said, the OpenAI team, not my team, but when I was watching it, like the OpenAI folks, they said, "Oh, this is all about like coding, right?" They're like, "Oh, we spend a lot of time with coding. We want to make it better for coding." You know, they partner with every code editor out there, and
Cursor switched to it, right? Yeah,
that's the default. Yeah, it's in Copilot. JetBrains has it. We Copilot in JetBrains and Xcode now has it. That rolled out today, I want to say. And then actually like a bunch of low code, like Lovable and V0, and a bunch of them, they also rolled out like GPT-5 all in the same time.
Okay. Yeah.
So
big rollout.
it was really impressive to see so many big applications roll out like same day. I was like very impressed because that never happened before. But then that also creates a little capacity issue, I have to imagine. So if every single application is using it, right? So I do think it's much better at coding, much better at tool calling. And then what's fascinating is like, can there be better tools to create SVGs and to do image resizing and all this other stuff? Let's get on this, right? And I think that would be great. And like, I do kind of want like a developer pack, like, some sort of tool modes or something. It's like, okay, I'm in like, image creation mode, or I'm in, issue creation mode, these different things where I'm, okay, these are the MCPs I need for this or that or whatever, kind of like instead of having them all on. So that's something that's there, especially if these things get much better at tool calling. But I even just yesterday was using GPT-5 inside of VS Code because I don't use ChatGPT, right? So I gave it the release notes for Visual Studio Code and I said, I need you to summarize this. I'm doing a podcast. I need to be under 10 minutes. And it created like a whole outline, did this whole thing. I was like, and he'll create a whole script for me. I was like, all right, I see you. So it's doing a lot better in the tool calling and the things and the summarization. I think that's pretty good, but I think it needs time. Like with any new model, I think what I want to tell people is I've seen so much chatter online, like two camps. I love it or I hate it, right? Yeah. I just think it needs more time for you to either love it now or hate it later, or hate it now and love it later. Is these models, they're still learning, and the system prompts and learning, and people are learning how to use them. You're learning how to use them. And obviously GPT-5 is fascinating because it is based on the router architecture, right? Like there's one model. I mean, there's mini and nano and whatever, but there's not like a thinking model and a whatever model. There's not like in O5 or whatever. It's like it routes and does different things accordingly, which is a very different approach, which I think means you need time how to figure out how to use that tool. It's a new tool in your toolbox, which looked like the other tool because it said 4, now it says 5. So it's like, all right, it must not be that crazy of a tool, but but it's different. So
yeah, I think it just needs more domains that it knows about. Like it's tough. In the technical domains, we have these things called file formats, and it can learn more advanced file formats. So I feel like it's in the technical world, there's kind of no excuses. I feel bad for like the medical world where they don't have file formats. They have janky databases that they've been feeding information into for 80 years or whatever, They have old systems. You think about like historians. What do they have? They have documents, So like it's what I would like to see out of the GPT-6s and such is for them to say like, we've conquered this domain. Like, don't tell me you've gotten better at coding. You're good enough at coding. Tell me something you can do now that you weren't able to do before. Tell me that you can actually center text in any document at any point. Tell me that you can design a circuit that, produces the amplification results of a Fender amplifier from 1956. Tell me you can do that. I'm not interested in these incremental updates so much anymore. But you know me, I've always been interested in AI because I look toward the future of it. These industrial improvements, these incremental improvements, just don't interest me. Because from my perspective, we've been good enough for over a year now. They're excellent. These models are excellent. There's no denying it. And I'm trying to be clear. I'm not downplaying the current models. I think they're excellent.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just saying I want to. There are horizons that we are not venturing off to yet.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of looking at what horizon are we on, or have we moved off that horizon, or are we just like improving that horizon? And I think like if you look at Claude 3.5 to 3.7 to 4, like incrementally they got better. And yeah, Claude 4 is really good, but also 3.7 was really good. And in fact, 3.5 was really good. I think you and I've said it, but Pierce said it on the recent podcast, on the recent live stream, is like whatever the day is, that is the worst the model will be. Like that is the worst that that model will, maybe even funny. Sam Altman said it, was like, this is the worst that AI will ever be, right? And like that's crazy because like yesterday was the worst and now it's gotten even better. So like I think when you think about it, it's like 3.5 was great, and like but this like it's only going to get better because this is actually the worst, which means it's actually going to get better technically. So like I think that is fascinating. Yeah, I think Sonnet 4 is great, and I think it's the same, like 4.0 to 4.1 to 5. I think great. Is it transformational? No, but I mean it's kind of similar. Like when you think we were talking to like the Switch 2, Nintendo Switch 2. Like I think the Switch 1 evolutionary, like revolutionary,
revolutionary.
No,
Switch 1 was revolutionary.
Switch
nice
2
big screen. Everyone's copied it. Now you have a million little PCs coming out in its form factor.
Exactly. Switch 2 evolutionary, right? It's in the name, 1 to 2, and it's the first time Nintendo ever did that. You think of going from the GameCube to the Wii, revolutionary. It's literally called the Revolution. That was like literally the code name for it. Where Wii U did not do very good, and that was supposed to be more evolutionary of it. But so the Switch, like we're not only just gonna create games, which is the core, right, of what it's going to do, but we're going to transform and revolutionize how you play them, where you play them, the control input, the mechanisms, like what you think a game console in is completely different, right? So that ends up becoming the question. It's like, okay, these models are like, you thought you knew what a model could do, but you actually had no idea. And I think that's what you're talking about, is like, boom, right? So like, I think when, I don't know if you watch all the GPT-5 launch, which I think it was the same thing. I was like, this all looks good. Nothing looks bad, right? But I'm like, you're not going to be in that mindset where you're like, my mind is blown, right? Oh my gosh, right? Because our minds have been blown over and over and over again. So I don't think I was expecting that with GPT-5. Maybe people were. I don't know.
I wasn't. And I want to be clear. I was not expecting it. This was, I knew this was going to be an incremental upgrade because I read the research papers. There hasn't been a new technology revolution. All we're doing is putting more money and more time and more data into the existing models. So I knew exactly where this was going. And it doesn't, the biggest problem with AI has been the biggest problem since the beginning, which is collecting data for it to learn from. You can buy the world's computing supercenter, whatever, but if you don't have good training data, you're just going to make a giant dummy. And so it's collecting all those things. Like I was making the joke on Twitter, like, okay, so you have Grok generating video. Everyone's generating video right now. Yay, Hollywood's out of business, whatever. But like, there's still not one AI out there that can tell me, is that a chainsaw or a dirt bike running right now? Those engines sound slightly different. So there are media it still needs to learn. There are subtleties in this universe that it still needs to learn before. That's why all the AGI arguments are just baloney. But, anyway, I didn't mean to talk down on GPT-5 at all, honestly, because I knew we weren't going there. But as an AI ML person, that's what I'm waiting for. Show me when it can tell the difference between a 2-stroke and a 1-stroke motor. Now you have my attention a little bit. And tell me, is it misfiring or something like that?
Yeah, I was recently watching, if you go to a small website on the internet, it's called YouTube. Okay, and if you're there, you're there.
It's where they post shorts, right? Like little videos of people dancing. That's what YouTube is.
That is correct. You're gonna look for Cleo Abram, who is
Okay.
awesome. You should probably subscribe. But she interviewed Sam, and all of her interviews are fantastic. And she interviewed Sam on it, and I haven't really listened to a lot of interviews with Sam in the recent past, but I actually really enjoyed this one. I think she pushed him a lot.
Nice.
I'd encourage people to go just kind of give it a listen. In general, how he sees it, because he's kind of talking a little bit about what we're talking about here, and a little bit what you just kind of said as well. And yeah, it'd be fascinating. I think that we have a ways to go for these models to, the things that everyone thinks they are. But then also we need to like integrate it into our applications. Like I still believe that we have a long way to go as application developers to really take advantage of these models. And if AI, like there's always these people like, the AI is a party and where the doors just opened, right? And it's only, and now like it's 1 a.m. and like where the club isn't even closed. You know what I mean? Like, oh, there's all stuff like if you think about the AI integration into applications and what it could do, I think that the club hasn't even opened yet. Like like we're still waiting in line outside because I think the untapped potential is still there. Like, yeah, your ChatGPTs, your Copilots, your Adobes of the world, like they're doing cool stuff. But as you and I have talked about, I want the more, right? I want it to be so deep. Like, I don't know who's going to crack that cookie.
It's someone who's raised in it, in the same way, like you needed to be raised on the internet to take advantage of the internet. It's the people who are learning to program while AIs exist who will know their boundaries and will be able to pick at them. Like I laugh like virtual friends, partners, whatever you want to call them. They're getting in the news right now. But that was the most low-hanging fruit from like GPT 3.5. You could create a little virtual friend, blob and chat with that little virtual friend all day long. That is low-hanging fruit. That has been a potential out there. Basically, we're just waiting for someone to crack the UI problem on how it should present itself. And it's only been, dating myself, it's August 12th right now. For the last month or two, it's been in the news. Like, my God, that is like the most obvious app to write. Yeah. That requires zero thought. And yet it's only now becoming a thing. Like, okay. And that is AI 101. I can't wait to see the 600 levels. AI.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think we've progressed maybe from the 05 one into the 101. But I'm not really seeing yet how we're taking it into the 2, 3, 400 level. And I think once we get there, we've talked about it, I'm really excited for it because there are a lot of use cases where I think that could be super beneficial. Like example, Heather's out of work or out of town for work. And I have this checklist. It's called To Do August. And I have 1,000 things to do. I got to research this. I got to do this. I got to call these people. I got to do this. I got to email this person. I got to do this. Like what would be really nice is if all of a sudden my to-do list is like just transformed and like things were done for me. Like it just scheduled a house cleaning. Autonomy. It just scheduled to do this. It gave me recommendations on things like if it can see like, oh, I need to research Portland, Maine for a trip. That's what it says. I don't know, just do it for me. Like, so go and do it and then do a thing. It's like, oh, I generated a report for you. We have this, there's one thing. I don't know. Is it out? I don't know if it's public. I don't know if it's public.
Okay. Hypothetically, there's this thing. Theoretically.
Okay. There is, okay, yes, it's out there. The facilitator in Microsoft Teams. Okay, perfect. Okay, let me see what I can do. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Oh, perfect. Okay, great.
Okay.
So the facilitator, like when you record a meeting previously, it could like do transcriptions, right? And it would do an AI summary of like all the voice to text, right? Translation.
Right.
Now the facilitator is like part of the meeting. If you have an agenda ahead of time, it's like, hey, I got the agenda. I'll keep you on track. Like I'll do a countdown. Like we'll make sure it's moving. It's like, and I'll take notes along the way. So it's literally coming up with tasks. It's coming up with notes from the chats. It's moderating the meeting. It's like, hey, 5 minutes left. You might want to wrap it up. Like I see that there's a few that. Do we want to do? It's like I was like, whoa, this is so cool. Like that is like breaching in the 200 level type of thing. And it could get even better by assigning dates and doing something and then following up with, like, the next step is clear. Follow up with me. Okay, we have a recurring meeting. Like, who's doing this? And like create the agenda for the next meeting based off of this meeting. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff. And when people talk to me and they're like, and I'm sure you have friends right now that are like, is this thing going to take over my job and do all this stuff? I think, oh, you got some people outside.
Talk about two-stroke motors.
Yeah, there you go. I think we're a long way away, but the one thing that I think AI can be very helpful for is getting rid of some of this tediousness in my life, like taking notes, recurring notes, sending recap emails, creating the notes for the next time, these things that I'm doing every single day. Or in this case, there's a bunch of manual things I need to do, like clean the floors. AI can't help me with that until there's robots that can do it, right? More efficiently than me. But, you know, for example, I had a meeting, I literally had a note that was like, cancel my upcoming doctor's appointment. Come on, just do it. Figure it out. I don't care if you got to click through a website. They've been
ordering pizzas and demos for 10 years now. Why can't they cancel my doctor appointment?
Exactly. Like, that's all I need. Yeah. So I think that that's some next level stuff that would just like save me time, or like give me recommendations. Like, oh, I think I know how to do it. Like, do you want me to do that? Like, yeah, do it. That sounds great. So
it's cool so funny because like before the LLM revolution a few years ago, that's all you and I used to talk about. Because I was complaining that like, okay, this AI stuff's getting good, but I'm still not enjoying the manualness. I really want to get to the automatic part of it. Where it's just automatically doing these things. And it requires some autonomy on its point. But yeah, the automaticness. And it's funny, like, I honestly I dropped that requirement a while ago. I actually haven't been thinking about it because now that we have these powerful manual ones, I'm interested in seeing how powerful the manual ones can get. I'm interested in how they can help my apps and improve my apps. You know, I think like it was always bad. I remember when Microsoft Word first had like the menus would change depending on which menus you would use more often, and people hated it because things in the menus would move. This is before the ribbon, everyone, if you can imagine a time before the ribbon. But now I think like there should be an AI bar with like a bunch of icons, and it generates the icons and it generates the title and it says, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? And you can just click. Sorry, I'm stuck in a Windows 95 user interface mode.
No, it makes sense.
I would love an AI toolbar that just said, here, I'm watching everything you're doing. Here's 10 different things. Click, 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 click.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I haven't been thinking about the automatic stuff in a while just because I am still absorbed with the powerful stuff we can do with the manual. I do want to bring up one thing. The robot that's cleaning your house doesn't have to be more efficient than you. The important thing is it's not you. It can be less efficient than you so long as you're not doing anything. It's true. The thing.
That's true. That is accurate. And there's two things with robots that do stuff in the house. It's like we have no robots in the house that do nothing. I did though go to Costco and there was some very nice like cleaning tools, like power tools, like scrubbers and stuff. And I was like, oh, you know what this tool can do better? It can scrub the floor much more efficiently than I can, right? I can mop, I can do stuff, but this can buff stuff out. It can like do stuff, different heads. I did have some robots that went around. The problem is that it always seems to want to like, it's never a good time for it to do it because we work from home. Yeah. And then also Millie's here. So like Millie is terrifying her. Like it's not like,
well, it doesn't know there's a dog that's afraid of robots, and it shouldn't be mindful of that. It should know, oh, the dog's outside. I can quickly go mop the floor real quick in the other room. Won't that is like, that's an intelligent robot. That's what we're missing.
Now we're cooking. Now we're playing with power. All right, Frank.
What was this episode, James? What did we talk about? I guess it's GPT-5. Hi, everyone. We talked about GPT-5, but I guess it's still just whenever someone gives you something, it's good to think about what else can they give you in addition.
Yeah, it's like GPT-5 is here, but what's next?
Yeah, I feel so bad for them because they put so much effort into it. So I hear it's a better coder, you tell me. So maybe I'll give it a try. I'll spend some of my Microsoft dollars on it.
Sweet tokens, baby. Give me those premium requests all day. All right, that's going to do for this week's Merge Conflict. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Go to mergeconflict.fm. That is a website you can go to. Also, I challenge folks. If you have like a personal website, you have a website hanging around, just open an issue, call it, just tell it to make it more beautiful, make it more modern, and reanalyze the entire website, make it amazing. Send it to the coding agent. One premium request, I can almost guarantee it will transform your website into the most beautiful thing in the world. In fact, I bet if you were to go to iCircuit,
oh yeah, for sure,
app.com.
I haven't updated that CSS in 10, 12 years.
Oh, I just threw up a little bit in my mouth.
Oh, okay. Come on now. It's clean. It's tight. But you're absolutely right. I was thinking preclarum.org to start with. I got to get my feet wet. But maybe we can report back on those experiments.
Dude, just here is your challenge. Challenge, internet.
Okay.
Go and do the thing that I just told you. Here was my prompt. I went, let me go to github.com. It's a private website, so you can't see it.
Put a link to your prompt. We all need your good prompt skills.
The prompt I opened is one issue. Right. Title of the issue: make the application beautiful. Okay.
Me talk.
And then I said, please create a new landing page for the website and restyle everything to be beautiful, modern, and a nice color palette. And that was it.
So you'd even say preserve the old rough palette. You're like, whatever. Yeah.
YOLO. Your color palette is, there's not a color. It's white and gray. There's not. You don't have one.
That's a palette, buddy.
And here's the thing. It's gonna, dude, like right now when you click on a photo on your website, it doesn't even open in a new window. It just goes to that content. What is happening on this website? Documentation, there's like manual. No, here's the thing, Frank. I'm calling Frank Krueger out. Oof. In the age of AI, your website for iCircuit, your most popular application in the world, is inappropriate. Yep. It's inappropriate.
Okay.
It's inappropriate and despicable. It is despicable.
Shots fired. Okay.
So you got Frank.
Okay.
7 days. And I want before and after. I want tweet it out to the people. I want the proof, just like I did before, after. Make it happen. Archive. You can always go. Commits are free.
Yeah.
Commits are free.
It's version controlled.
What is preclarum?
I'm not going to A/B test it though, so it better generate something nice. Can I please have it do a few? I need to have it clean up the CSS first, and then it can go and restyle everything.
No, it doesn't. No, it'll do all of it. Just even your website, even your blog, it'll make it beautiful. It's going to make everything. Just tell it to make it beautiful. It's going to make it beautiful.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I can't wait to see what it is going to behold beauty to be.
You can give it more of a prompt if you want to. Here's the other thing you can do is that if you want to get real creative, this is what Pierce said. He said, here's what you do. Open 5 issues with 5 different prompts for restyling it and tell it what to do, right? Tell it to be like, oh, I want this to be more blah, 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 blah. I want this to be blah, 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 blah. And then it'll just take one of the 5. You could just have it. Here's the beautiful part of what can happen literally by midnight tonight. You could have 5 brand new designs for your website. And then you could tweet all of those photos and let people make a decision of what
there's my
A/B
test.
best.
Okay.
Wow. Like that could happen. Like that is crazy. That is bananas, right? I literally, Frank, we have a foundation, and our foundation website, it's literally an HTML page that just has an image tag in the middle. I opened the same exact issue. Now it has like a drop shadow. It's in a card. It has a gradient background that changes colors. It has these orbs that fly around, and it's just HTML and CSS. No, nothing. It's just keyframe animation. It's like, dude, you took 5 minutes, and now it even came up with it even put a byline. It has the image, blah, blah, blah. It says, welcome to our foundation dedicated to making a difference. Oh,
wow. How like generic. Regression
doesn't matter. Better than nothing. But I was like, whoa.
No, it's cool. It's very cool.
Dude, I spent 0 minutes and now everything's better. Like I spent so much time trying to build my coffee business website because I didn't want to pay like Wix or like whatever the other website builders are. And I was like, dude, I could have been like, make it beautiful. This is a coffee business. Make it. You know what I want? Like coffee background. Like I want like GeoCities, dude. That's what I want. Make iCircuit look like GeoCities.
GeoCities 2025. Yeah,
dude. If your website isn't GeoCities in 2025, you're not living. All right.
I do have to say, I wish I didn't have to open 5 issues manual. I wish there was, give me 5 of these. Like, like the way DALL-E works and all the image generators work, like there's seeds
easy.
and you can, I really wish we would get into that with the LLM world from a UI perspective.
Here it is, Frank. It's super simple. Go open up your code base inside with Visual Studio Code and with Copilot. And then here's what I want you to tell it. Hey, I want to redesign this website. I want the entire website to be re-envisioned, brand new design. Come up. Here's what the website is. Don't even need to tell it. Investigate what the website is. You have the content. Then I want you to come up with 5 different ideas for what this website could be. Different styles, different theme, different colors. Open 5 GitHub issues and assign it to the GitHub coding agent. And just like that, Frank, you've done 0 work. Let the AI do it.
Not what I was requesting, but it's a stochastic system. I wish the UIs revealed that randomness part of it.
You could build that extension. You could do it.
Just saying.
All right. Let's get it for this week's Merge Conflicts. Until next time, I'm James Tomato.
And I'm Frank Kruger. Thanks for watching and listening.
Peace.